right, so we're going to be continuing with topic 210. Check your understanding. This is numbers 5 and 6. Okay, so we've got the cotangent of alpha times the cotangent of alpha. Rewriting this isn't going to really help me. I tried it a couple of times. It's not going to work out. So I'm going to go ahead and just go for it using the product rule. So g prime of alpha is equal to first times the derivative of the second. Derivative of cotangent is negative cosecant alpha squared. Make that a little cleaner. And so then when I do it again, I'm going to get exactly the same thing, right? So when I do the second times the derivative of the first, and so I have two of these that are exactly the same. So equals 2 cotangent alpha, negative 2, excuse me, negative and negative, cosecant squared alpha. Okay. I could probably clean that up a little. Let's play a quick game and see what happens. Let's see if it's worth it. Cosine or sine. Remember, the purple is not necessary. Cosecant is 1 over sine. Nah, I think it gets worse. So I'm not bothered. Not worth it. Stopping there. Alright, number 6. Find h prime of pi thirds when h of x is cosine x times tangent x plus sine x plus tangent x all over sine x. So I could keep this in a hard place, or I can make this easy. I'm going to make this easy. Cosine times tangent. Tangent is sine over cosine. Cosines cancel out, and I'm left with sine. Okay. Okay. This one, sine, I'm going to rewrite as sine x for sine x plus tangent over at sine x. And so the first one becomes 1. And then this becomes, so I'm going to do that over here. Tangent is sine x over cosine x times 1 over sine x, right? Because it's over, that's 1 over sine x. So kind of that. This is the same as that. And then sines cancel out. And so I'm left with 1 over cosine, and 1 over cosine is secant x. All right, so there I am. It's a lovely mess. Let's take the derivative. H prime of x equals derivative of sine is cosine. Derivative of 1 is 0. Derivative of secant is, you remember? Secant x times tangent. And again, order of these, totally interchangeable, switchable. And there I am. Looks way easier. So let's go ahead and plug in h prime of pi thirds. This will be the cosine of pi thirds. And then the plus secant, which is 1 over cosine. Times tangent of pi thirds. And again, tangent is sine over cosine. And again, I'm changing these to things I know. So, cosine of pi thirds is 1/2. Just double that, check that on a calculator. Calculator's on. Cosine of pi divided by 3. Okay, it's going to get blurry. Doesn't love it. So there's my 1/2. Okay. Plus 1 over 1/2. Plus, if cosine is 1/2, then sine is radical 3 over 2 over 1/2. And again, it would be nice if I knew what tangent of pi thirds is, but I don't. I mean, I do, but I forget it all the time, so whatever. And so I get 1/2 plus 2. And then this is radical 3 over 2 times 2 over 1, so radical 3. And so I'm left with 2.5 plus this cube root, and I'm done. Okay, so, sorry about that, that's off the screen. So first things first, took the mess, rewrote the mess. Cosine stayed, tangent became sine over cosine, crossed off, that's just sine. This is called manipulating an identity. You can absolutely deal with it here, but it's going to make this part where you're evaluating worse. Sine, just broke this into the 2 fractions. This is just 1. Tangent over sine, I worked with up here. Tangent divided times 1 over sine. Sine over cosine. Sines cancel out, 1 over cosine, which is secant. Derivative. Derivative of sine is cosine. Derivative of 1 is 0. Derivative of secant is secant times tangent. Plugged in. And again, I rewrote secant as 1 over cosine. I rewrote tangent as sine over cosine. Again, to things I knew. Now, if I had remembered that the tangent of pi halves was radical 3, I wouldn't have had to do that. If I'd remembered that the secant of pi halves is, pi thirds is 2, I wouldn't have had to do this. But I didn't, so I did this. And then you have the final answer. 1/2 plus 2 is 2.5. Radical 3. I'm going to leave it right there. All right, have a great day.